I'm gonna start this one here with you, Yada, because we popped off with Anton last time. Should men be open to dating women with children?
He know better. He know this about to go so bad.
No. Can I be truthful?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can I be truthful, please, brother?
This round you can't be there. Okay. Last round it was a little rough.
Okay. I don't believe personally that we should put our women in boxes. If a woman has a child or doesn't have a child, a good woman is a good woman. My wife had a child prior to me. And I love this child. This child loves me, but the child also knows that I'm not her father, but I play a role as a father figure in her life. She's probably watching right now. And if you're watching right now, baby girl, I love you and I'm thankful for you. When a man is able to lead, guide, and protect, when a man's able to walk with the attributes of the Most High God, it doesn't matter if the woman is single or not, because if a man can lead, he can lead. It doesn't matter if the woman has 3 children, 2 children, 1 child, no child. If the man can lead, he can lead. I believe, my opinion in my heart, that when a man is truly invested into God and into bettering himself, God's going to send him an aid, regardless if the aid has a child or no child. I don't think we should keep telling women, oh, your value is lowered because you have children. That makes no sense. Now, brothers, I believe that if you're unable to even deal with your own personal emotions, I think you should stay alone and by yourself, or get with a woman that has nothing else going on. Y'all can probably grow together. But when you're coming into a woman's life that has a child, you have to be able to lead. You have to be able to father. You have to be able to teach.
Here we go. Temptation. This brother up here, he said, if you don't want to date a woman with children, stay by yourself or date a woman that ain't got nothing going on.
Thank you.
You a lie, and the truth ain't in you.
Oh, man.
Thank you. I love it. I love when they make our points. Oh, my goodness. I can hear the detractors now echoing from hundreds of miles away. Why y'all calling him a simp? He a provider. He married her. In order to justify his position. And we done talked about, you know what I'm saying, men that are, that are stepfathers. We've had that conversation and going back to it. Nevertheless, he had to defend his position by putting down. You understand? He can only defend his position by putting down Anton by saying, if you ain't man enough or healed enough to date a single mom, then get you a woman like a Rockwell, all right, or that ain't got nothing going for them. Because if you ain't got a kid, by the time you get to me, you ain't got nothing going for you. That's the sick part. We're not saying, you know what I'm saying, that guys can't get with women with kids and it can't work out. It's not probable today, so we don't recommend it. That's what it is. And you can't act like, I'll tell you this, that brother there, whatever his name is, Yada, he gonna feel a burn. It's coming. Time is undefeated. Just wait.
Teach, and you have to be able to love unconditionally, because I love my wife's child as if she's my own flesh and blood. So I don't believe personally that we should put a woman in the box because a man might overlook a divine asset sent to him by God just because she has a child. I don't agree to that. And that's like me telling a woman, overlook this man because he has children. No, I believe an asset is an asset. A woman that has a child isn't a liability. And if she's coming into your life to help you maneuver into becoming your greatest version, because a woman can help a man become greater emotionally and mentally, she adds on to the man. And if the child is there, this man, especially if he doesn't have children, he can learn how to father through this. So ladies, please hear me. Your value is not dropped because you have children. Men, please hear me. Your value is not dropped because you have children. Some of you, or some of us, me included, weren't taught how to properly wait until marriage to have children. So I'm speaking to the brothers that's trying to figure it out by themselves. I'm speaking to the women that's trying to figure out by themselves. Love yourself and never lower your value, regardless if you had children or not. Excuse me.
There you have it.
We 100% disagree on this one.
Okay.
The previous two, we had some overlap and we had some agreements. This one, we don't. I like to get to the core root of the problem. And I think that what we do as a culture and as a society is we enable bad behavior by saying that it's okay. And it's not. It's not. The person that you have children with, the person that you have sex with, that's your husband, that's your wife. Before any of these Western modern laws that then incentivize people to get married, the person that you opened up your legs to was your husband. And so we have too many broken homes, and we're trying to puzzle this thing and Tetris it together to justify that it makes sense. Now, is there circumstances, because I'm never going to speak on somebody else's situation. I speak in general. I don't know him. I would never speak on his children or his wife. That has nothing to do with me.
I appreciate
whatsoever,
that, brother.
Right. So I have the utmost respect for him and his family.
Thank you.
So I'm just speaking in general. All right. So I want to make sure that I preface that because I don't want there to be any attacks. Right.
Understood.
But my point is that we need to get back to the core and the root, because if you removed the safety net, people would be more accountable for the things that they did and who they opened up their legs to. Right now, more than ever, there's a pandemic, an epidemic of women celebrating women having children out of wedlock. And we know that statistically speaking, that is a bad situation. You are more likely to end up in jail. You're more likely to join a gang. You're more likely to need therapy. You're less likely to be successful when it comes to future relationships. You're less likely to become a millionaire and earn as much. You're more likely to have debt as a result of student loan debt and things and so on and so forth. And so if we gonna solve for this problem,
man. So we're gonna stop it for a minute. It's a lot here. We're gonna try to mine through it all. You know, you got Anton on the left, married guy, been with his wife, you know, and then you got the guy on the right. He married his wife, but she already had children before he met her. So they clearly gonna have two different positions. And Anton ain't wrong. I mean, you open your legs up to these men, there are consequences. And you can't tell these women you can have as many kids as you want. It ain't gonna lower your value. That's stupid.
Exactly. Ask any respectable, honorable, genuine woman that had a kid out of wedlock. Ask her, when you had that kid and you realize your situation, did you come to terms that that child out of wedlock was an obstacle for your next meaningful relationship? I guarantee you 100% chance you're gonna say, yes, I was aware of my situation. I'm aware I'm going to try to find another ambitious masculine man with another man's child towing behind me. I'm aware of that. Y'all need to stop that. Again, this is that fairy tale Disney stuff. Me and my wife was just watching a show the other day, American Horror Story, and they had this wild single mom madness all up on the screen. It was wild. And that's what we're saying. It's being glorified. You see what I'm saying? We're not saying that a woman can't come out here, have a kid, and get married. Heathen Queen did. Other women do it. But I'm guarantee you they won't advise towards. They won't say, don't do that. Don't go down that path. Am I right, HQ? Like, you would not advise women to have a kid before marriage. But nevertheless, that was similar to your journey, yes? Yes.
Yeah, no,
you see that?
I wouldn't advise anybody to it.
That's maturity and growth. A lot too many of these women, they say, just because I did it, you can and should do it too. And that's my example of misery loves company, because that's sick.
Yeah, but I'm an 8. See,
that's right. Yeah. And
I'm
that's
talking no 8. I'm just cool.
as a culture, we have to remove the incentives for people to think that it's okay to have families outside of the covenant that God has ordained for us to have. Now, do circumstances happen? Absolutely. but it absolutely does not. That is not the majority. Most people are intentional. And let me address something else that he said. By the time that we are able to bust one, we know what's right and wrong. Mm-hmm. You know that you should not be having children out of wedlock. This is not something that we have to discover. At a very basic level, we know better. And that's why I can speak to men when I say the majority of men, especially black men, do not have children out of wedlock. That is a small minority of men that is populating the majority of these women. And we don't really want to hold them accountable because we know that women are the biggest consumers. And so again, I'm not here to make people feel good. I'm here to tell them the truth. No, I do not think that a man needs to practice becoming a father to a child that's not his and trying to figure it out to negotiate and work with another man that wants to probably at some point participate in this child's life, because it is a zero-sum game. And I know so many people that regret the day that they ever decided to get into a relationship with a woman that then ultimately should have went back to her child's father. Go back to your child's father and work it out. Because that's the person that you created the covenant with. That's the person that you married according to God's law. Go fix it. That's what you need to do.
Now, what if a woman is saying that this man is just absolutely egregious? That's just somebody I was. It's not even something that I can repair, go back to.
It's not about you.
How do you give that woman?
It's not about
advice?
her. It's about the child. Everything that you do at that point to bring somebody into this world that didn't ask to be here is what's best for the child. You remove yourself. You got to put down with self and up with God. What is in the best interest of that child? Is it in the best interest of that child for you to be raising that child in a two-parent household with the father? And if so, why didn't you think about that before you opened up your legs to him? Because we got over 100 different forms of contraception. It's not about how you feel. It's about the child. I do the thing that's in the best interest of my child, not me. I put myself last. But I also understand that the things that I do in my greatness, she's the beneficiary of it. And I would never, ever, under any circumstance, let another man raise my child.
And that's beautiful. What he's saying is beautiful. And he's coming from a place of being raised by mother and father. But you have so many women that never seen their father. They've never known that a woman should get married before they have children. Hold on, bro. Let me speak. Because majority of young girls are they're starting to lose their virginities at very young ages as children, looking to replace that feeling of not having a father. They just want to feel some form of masculine love. So if this child made a mistake at 15 or made a mistake at 16 by sleeping with the wrong man that promised her the world, oh, baby, I love you. Oh, baby, I'm thankful for you. Oh, baby, I'll never leave you. And she got into this woman's head because, like you said, fathers should know and teach their daughters right for wrong. You do agree, correct? Mm-hmm. So if the father isn't there and she's running behind a masculine energy and this man is saying, I love you, I'll never leave you, I'll never cheat on you, and she falls in love with this man now saying, I want your body. If you love me, let me get your body. She doesn't know right for wrong because she didn't see no man growing up. Now she gives this man the body. Mm-hmm. Now a child is born. That means that this man right here that doesn't have any children should not get with her?
Absolutely not.
Come on, brother.
That part. And also, back to what I just said, that baby that she just had should be removed from that family. That family has proven to be failures, and they keep creating generations after generations of single mothers. At some point, you got to remove the children from the families, grandmas and aunties included. Sisters and brothers included. You got to get away from all these bastards because they ain't going to do nothing but drag you down. So when you talk about this girl whose dad should have been in the house, we got to look at her mom. Her mama should never be able to have no damn kids. And that's why I say these people should not be able to have children at all. And I don't care what it does to the birth rate. It is what it is. It's the Thanos effect. But Bonquisha had a kid by a nug-nug. And then she had a baby. Now this little girl didn't have a daddy. No, now go back and look at her damn mama.
Both men have points. Both men have points. Both men. The young, I don't know, Yada person is speaking in what is happening right now. Anton is speaking how you want it to be. The real truth is men are dealing with women who have children. It's just a fact. Maybe I'm speaking that way because I really can't stand Anton because he come across.
What do you mean by dealing with? Anton is talking about marriage.
No, he's talking about marriage, and most people ain't getting married. Period.
So you said most of these. You say most men are marrying these single moms.
Hell yeah.
Well, if only all right, granted. So if we're talking about 60% of the women are single moms and only 25% of women get married, where's this dad at? I would say very few of them. The very small percent of them are getting married. Maybe 20%.
Talk to a lot of men, and a lot of men don't want to get married, but they still live in a household with that woman and that child.
Granted,
that 25% is
well, I say this, no, because you got to cancel that out. Any man that's living in the house with a woman, she don't respect him and she don't want him if he's living in her house. We are talking about that because it don't count. It's like Bonquisha saying she got options, but the options are the men you don't want. It's not an option.
You're talking to a man, he is dealing with a woman. 9 times out of 10, they deal with women who got kids. That is the reality. That most men will deal with women because they like black women. They're gonna deal with women who got kids. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's correct.
Either queen because you ain't. Well, listen. You ain't getting nowhere. You keep saying deal with. Nobody ever said nobody won't sleep with a single mom. So you missing the. You know what I mean?
Marry them too. They'll marry them too.
No, they don't.
They'll marry them and get in a relationship with them. It is what it is. A lot of people get married, whether it be single or single. Not people. Not.
Shout out to who is this? RJ in the Cash App says give HQ a break.
Have mercy, man. Yeah. Here's my thing. Like, obviously, you have people like, oh, y'all got some points. Here's my thing. Taking both point of views into account, my question is this: which one poses the highest probability of having bad outcome? You see, that's how I got to give it to you. Which way of thinking is going to give you the highest probability of having a bad outcome? Would it be being man enough and strong enough to take on a single mother that already chose or not chose to give the highest honor to another man? Or would it be to start a family fresh, so where a man can have the chance to pedestalize his wife? I've made this argument before. Men want the chance to pedestalize their wife to some degree. That's mine and only mine. That's every man's desire. That's mine. If you understand something, ladies, if you got a little one following you, he know that ain't his.
Absolutely not.
Come on, brother.
100%.
Come on, brother.
Listen, at a very early age, I was never going to not have a child, or I was never going to have a child out of wedlock. It's just the facts. We was never going to co-parent. I was never going to have another man in my child's life.
And that's beautiful.
And this is the sentiment of most men, especially black men. This is a norm within our culture. Go and look it up. It's data. It's statistics. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. And again, I'm going to go back to the core of what I said in the very first conversation. You can solve for 99% of all men that are doing the wrong thing, and 1% of men can populate the majority of the earth with women that choose to be with this one man. At some point, every single person, including women, have to be accountable for the thing that they did and open up their legs to. And we also know that women are the ones that initiate the majority of the divorces. So they're walking away from their households and becoming single parents by choice. This isn't something that they're being forced to. So when because he's a great salesman, I got to give you that.
Come on, brother.
No, you're phenomenal.
Come on, brother.
You do the whole crying thing.
Come on,
oh my
brother.
God.
Come on, bro. You're showing sassiness right now. Come on, brother.
No. This is what you're saying.
Come on, we men now, brother.
No, listen.
Come on, we men now.
Oh my God.
Come on now, brother.
I didn't know a man. And so as a result, I was looking for love. And so I had this child. You know what I hear? Excuses. Excuses.
Let me add on something real quick, right?
You're a great salesman.
This man right here.
I see why you got a great product.
This man, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. This man right here I don't want to attack Antoine. Let me say this. No, hold on.
My life is perfect.
I want to make sure my words is accurate. Let me not try to attack Antoine. Let me say it like that. It's toxic to teach a woman to stay in a home where there's no form of love or safety or security, because that teaches the woman, the young child, it teaches the young girl that she should grow up and stay in a relationship with a man that's abusive, that attacks her mentally and physically, emotionally. We have to understand the majority of women will not leave a place where she feels safe. She will not leave a place where she feels loved. Men keep screaming that women are leaving men or divorcing men in high numbers because these women are no longer happy. They no longer feel safe. They're not being financially provided for. They're taking care of grown men. And I know brothers, right, that are amazing fathers, amazing fathers, and raising their bonus children. These bonus children aren't curses. They're blessings. And any man that's able to lead another child that's not biologically his, I salute you. Because the average man will not understand that. Again, Antoine was raised in a home with two parents, which is beautiful. Like I can't.
And he's saying that like that's a knock on me.
Hold on. No, I'm saying it's beautiful.
He
it's
keep
beautiful.
mentioning it like that's something that's what you're supposed to do.
Brother. No, it's beautiful that he was raised in a home with two parents, but a lot of people didn't have the privilege of seeing that. So they're making mistakes, brother. They're making mistakes. She fell in love with the wrong. She fell in love with the wrong man. Whatever happened. But ladies, do not allow this man.
And here we go. We're gonna stop it for a minute. They making mistakes. Shout out to my guy, Media Man. My brother, he was over there cooking this week, and he hit on some of these points. It's not a mistake. They didn't choose poorly. This is their type. These women are sleeping with the type of men that they like, they attracted to, that they want to have children with. All that. They ain't thinking about marriage. They want to be with the guy that they want to make pretty babies with. All right. The guy they're going to turn up with. All right. The guy that's going to bring that loud and that Casamigos over. All that.
And I'm pretty sure Yada's argument, is that ain't all of them. That ain't most of them. And I believe the observable reality is that is most of them. I believe that today's modern women, they are single moms by choice. The majority of them, we know it exists. They've said it with their loud mouths on the internet. Single moms by choice. And so now you got to be strong enough to go ahead and take on that madness too. It is this y'all to do this he always been annoying because his message is wrapped in bull jive. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna lean on that heavy accusations that are against him. But something is up.
What you got, Raquel?
Order 66. He took the order and he's putting his male perspective on it, his beta male perspective. And it's what the ladies love. And they're eating it up, because for the ladies, they're all about being able to be on their worst behavior and not to be ever held accountable for it. You can't be bad and then choose your punishment. It doesn't work like that. That's the consequence of your bad behavior, is that you're going to get a punishment you do not like. That's why it's called punishment.
You know my point of view. My point of view is people fall in love with whoever they fall in love with. And there are single men out here falling in love with women who have children. It is what it is. That's the way life works. So you can say, don't fall in love with a woman who has children, but I bet you'll find some guys right here in the audience right now that are dealing with women who have children. So
I hate to quit. We don't say it's not my own brother. Listen, he the queen. My own brother is married to a single mom. He has children by the woman. We know it exists. We done had stepdads, all that. Like I said, y'all are preaching to the choir. It still does not change the facts and what's right. Y'all keep trying to, just because you may be a victim of something, you can't try to paint it as right.
Amen.
I didn't say it was right. What I said was it was reality. I didn't say anything was right. Your way is not right for me, and my way is not right for you. I'm saying it is what it is. People are going to fall in love with people who have children. You can holler and scream and say, don't get involved with a married woman, or don't get involved with a woman with a baby. That don't mean jack, because people are doing it right now. People are living with people who have children. People are falling in love with people who have children. All I'm saying is, great, fine. The rule should be you shouldn't marry a single mother. You should be getting your own single mother, right? And that's great. I could say that all day long, but if they're not doing that, why am I worried about whether they do it or they don't do it? Okay. This is the way it is, not the way I want it to be. I want them to go out there and have their own families, get married, then blah, blah, blah. But the reality is they're over here marrying single women, dealing with single women, living with single women who have children, period.
Granted.
That's all I'm saying.
Up here to make you feel like you're not deserving of a man, or man, if you're in a relationship with a woman that has children, do your thing. I salute you. It takes a real man to be able to step up and be a father when no one else is.
No, it's not about do your thing. It's about going back to the thing that you committed to in the first place. And again, they always keep saying, do your thing. I'm surprised you ain't said queen at some point.
Queen,
do your thing, queen. Do your thing,
So, Anton,
queen.
let me ask you this question.
At some point, you need to hold your parents accountable, right? Because again, we keep hanging this on the hats of men instead of hanging it on the hats of the people that came before you and put you in this position in the first place. I agree. So let's remove this whole thing that is on men. It's not on all men. That's bullcrap.
What's not on all men?
It's not on this whole narrative of what we see in the culture. This is not a black man thing. The majority of men. So stop making up this narrative of an abusive household. Was he abusive? Wait. No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, let me finish. This is my question to you. Right. Was he abusive before you opened up your legs to him?
Now, can I speak? That's cool with you.
I asked you a question.
Good. Brother, we have men that are some pro finessers. They will give a woman a representation of themselves. And when they've got their hooks into the woman, they turn into something different. No woman in her right mind is going to be in a relationship with a man that's negative, Nancy, breaking her down mentally, physically, and spiritually, not providing for her financially. No, they get the hooks in her. And then when he feels like he's got her in love and all she knows is him, he turns into something different.
Let's stop. He ain't got no hooks in her. He done popped a baby in her. Let's call it what it is. So once Nug know that he done knocked you up, he gonna do whatever the hell he want to do. He's gonna be the man he always was, the man you knew, the man that already had 3 baby mamas. You know, that guy. Holy hell.
Again, talking about guys, being, having slick tongues, like again, shout out to Gavin X. We should blame our parents for not teaching us and falling victim to this. Men too. Some young men go out there, fall victim to hyenas, and some women go out there and they very well may fall victim to a cunning nug. So what? It is what it is. Stop making it seem like it's only one way with that. Again, we're not up here saying, men do it too. It's the demonizing I can't stand. Don't sit here and demonize. Dudes just cheat for no reason. Y'all up here talking about guys, women don't leave relationships, that they're comfortable, happy, healthy in. I'm telling you, I'm lightweight traumatized. I seen the video with a woman who was divorced, and she said she was pretty, fit. She cheated on her husband with a guy at the gym. That's why I be coming up with these horror story LA Fitness things. It happens. A woman will have a good, solid, boring man at home, but Mr. Tall LA Fitness guy, he getting them cheeks And Mr. Good Guy got to deal with that.
That ain't how that works. The truth is, a woman does cheat. I'm telling you how a woman thinks. A woman does not.
I'm telling you what you tell me what she thinking. I'm telling you what she said.
A woman does not just go out and cheat. She goes out and cheats for a reason. It's very small percentage that will just go and just be cheating for just. I'm just saying I would cheat. I would cheat because I have feelings for another person. That's the reason why I would cheat. Other women cheat because they have feelings for another person, or they want to experience something else, or they're bored with their life, or their husband did something 5 years ago and now she's just feeling the effects of wanting to leave. Women just don't leave because they want to leave. That's a fallacy. Men don't cheat just to be cheating all willy-nilly. There's reasons why people do the things that they do. And men are just like women, and women are just like men. They cheat for a reason.
Well, to a larger point, we got to quit throwing around words like this person's cheating and that person cheating. 85% of these people are not in real relationships. They're just hunching. So once a man sleep with a woman feel like that's my man. And if he goes sleep with another woman, that's cheating. No, y'all are his concubines. We must understand there are words for these things. We talked about prostitutes earlier. Now we can bring the concubines into the room. These are real things. Quit acting like, oh, they cheating. Like we talking about this happily married couple living in a good neighborhood and everybody just cheating on each other. We're not talking about them. We're talking about people that's already in situationships.
Thank you. That's it. They're not situationships. That's it. Instead of these women trying to save face, I'm just in a situationship. No, like Gavin X said, you are a concubine. Let it hit home, because concubine don't sound as free as a situationship. That sounds like it's mutual. No, you're a concubine. You like that ninja, he don't like you.
All I'm saying to you, brother, this is what I want. No, I need you to hear this. Every woman that has had a child and is not with the man aren't bad people. And every man that had a child and not with the woman is not bad people. We keep saying a man shouldn't be with a woman that has children. Why? Because she have her children, but this man has children and children aren't with them. We have to make sense of this. Why do we keep saying, man, don't be with a woman with children, but we're not saying nothing by the man that's not taking care of his children or there for his children?
I want to actually ask that question, right?
That's like a Little Mermaid movie that he just made right there.
Let me ask this real quick, because I want to know if you also feel that the way about men as well, because you got a daughter yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're giving her some instruction, would you pretty much instruct any woman? Is it the same rule that women should also stay away?
I would not tell a woman that don't have children to marry a man with children.
Okay.
I'm not biased on this. I'm consistent across the board. I don't think that it's in a one. Could she possibly marry a good guy? Could a guy possibly marry a good woman that got? Absolutely. But I would never advise it, because I would never tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I'm consistent in that. And let me correct them for a minute.
Please.
Nobody said that they were bad people.
Okay.
That's just not your people. Everybody that's a good person is not for you. Everybody that's in a situationship is not supposed to be a part of your network. Every person that's doing something good or well, they don't deserve to necessarily be in your life, because your journey is different. And so I never said anybody was a bad person, but I would never advise a man to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And I would never, ever go and talk to a woman that have children with another man.
They're not,
and I believe,
and I want to stop it real quick. That's a key point. And that's what women must understand about men like me and Mr. Walker. We understand that stepdaddies exist. There are men that sleep with women, marry women with children, granted, small percentages. But like Anton said, I'm not going to advise a man to do something I wouldn't do myself, something I wouldn't tell my son to do. I'm not going to be up here advising y'all. That would be irresponsible. I believe what I believe, and y'all can believe what y'all want. And we can let the results lay where they lay.
There you go. Nothing is perfect. And that's another disconnect with dating today. Everyone wants a guaranteed outcome. No, ain't happening. That's why we advise to get together in your 20s, find out you have common interests and build on that. Common interests, common life goals. You know what I mean? You meet up later, good luck with that. Just good luck.
I'm saying that that's the perfect scenario. Like minds, like interest, like values.
So that's what we want to tell the kid. We want to give them the best chance. Yes, we understand it may not be happening today. We're not talking to the ones that are currently out here figuring it out and learning by trial and error. We trying to do our best to speak to the kid. Shout out to cousin Walker. You know what I'm saying? Her nieces and nephews and all them that she shares this with. They don't make the same mistakes. Scare them straight. Give them, judge them so they don't make this same mistake. Because once you start doing it, good luck. Like the brother Anton said, yes, single moms can get married. You did, HQ. I believe Crystal got the same story. Yes. And yes, you can. At the same time, I wouldn't say do it. Wouldn't tell the next woman to say, hey, if you have a kid, everything's going to be all right. I believe it is in their best interest to let them know the obstacles, the extreme obstacles they are going to have at finding the man they desire. Big thing.
So just to pop in, I think unfortunately what happens is they're speaking from two different perspectives. Anton is speaking from a perspective of being prevented or some type of preventative of, this is a better outcome if you X, Y, and Z. And nobody can argue with that. Is it still, like you said, an absolute no? There are plenty of single women or single mothers and had been married to their husband, thousands and hundreds of thousands of them. But is it a better is it more probable that this will work for you or that you'll have a safer situation? Of course. And Yada, if that's his name, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is saying, okay, but we still have a world of hundreds and thousands of women and hundreds of thousands of children. Mr. Walker don't do crack, because guess what? He understands that that's not the way to go in life. But what we have to realize too is these Gen Zs, they're not having kids. We didn't scare them straight. We have freaking scared the Gen Z. They aren't having kids. The boys are in from 18 to 24, sometimes a high level of incel or
let me step in real quick. I would say I would agree with you somewhat. I would say the people that's poor and live in poverty, this don't apply to them. They are still having children, young girls in the hood that are 15, 25. They don't, that's the majority. So you are speaking for responsible women, Crystal. I agree, but that's the minority.
Actually, the hood women on Black people, are you like in like public housing? You're saying
no, it don't have to be that extreme. We've been down this rabbit hole before, Crystal. It's not, you don't have to be somewhere where gunshots is coming through your door every day. It's not that extreme. You are in proximity. You go to the school district, all that stuff.
Right, but that's like saying if we go to the hood, a guy's selling drugs. Well, we're in the hood, so of course we're gonna get hood stuff in the hood. But
they sell drugs in suburban neighborhoods.
Yeah, but I mean they coming from the hood. Come on now, it's mostly the
hood.
No, they're not.
Ain't nobody in the hood manufacturing drugs.
What? The majority of drugs that get sold are in the city. We know that. In the inner cities, in public housing where people are poor. That's the majority of where your drug dealers are. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying in total, yes, it's going down. Now, yes, if you concentrate that to the inner cities, of course. And that's why I think it is good for us to call out and say, hey, do not share your womb with anyone. Our parents either didn't know better and didn't do better, or knew better and still didn't do better. And we get that. But Yada is speaking from a place of love and healing, not necessarily repeating it. I'm sure he's not telling his kids to have kids. But what are we going to do with the hundreds of thousands of people that are still needing to be healthy parents? Because Gavin, to your point, it's not realistic anytime soon for them to come in and rip the children away from the mothers. It's just not probable.
Well, let me say this. If, for all my Bible thumpers out there, we brought up the word concubine. There was a point in time in history, a concubine is a woman who is engaged with a man, intimately, but this woman is below his wife. That is the definition of a concubine, is biblical. So there was women back then that were uncovered, but they had to find a man that already had a wife. Rest in peace to the Godfather. That was one of his last messages, is y'all are going to have to share these good men.
Okay, just to pop in real quick. Somebody said something earlier, prehistoric. I think that we really don't study history for real, and it shows. Because when you're speaking of a time and day and age when women didn't have rights, Of course. Of course. And that's been a very long time.
Have rights to do what?
I mean, just rights in general. Basically,
that's what I'm saying. There wasn't much. You needed a man back then. Y'all could have had all the rights y'all want. Y'all would have been out getting eaten alive by animals. Y'all needed men. So women, there wasn't many rights to be had. They wasn't fighting for a right to vote and to work because Walmart didn't exist and cars they weren't driving. So you off base. That's
okay, what I'm saying. And what I'm saying to that is, I don't feel like I'm off base. Actually, I'm not off base, and I know I'm not. Because when you look at it, if you look at history, our grandparents were actually the original warriors. Our grandmothers were the hunters.
All right,
you might not want to hear that, and you might want to call it.
All right, let me get back into it.
I'm just saying, look into it.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole, Crystal. Here we go.
And what I would tell her is to go back with your child's father. And it doesn't mean that she can't have love. If you can finesse a man into doing it, then do so. But I would never advise my guys to do that.
When you say not your people, what does that mean?
It can mean anything. It can mean that we're not equally yoked. Maybe we don't need to do business together. Maybe we are going in two different directions. Maybe we have two different belief systems. It's a lot of different things that can identify whether or not a person is your person or your people and not.
Okay, so are you telling people they should be in relationships even though it's toxic just because of the child?
I never said that.
So when should they part ways?
I don't think that they should have got it together in the first place because you know who a person.
We're already there, brother. If we're already there.
I specifically said no. I don't address if we already there.
Right.
I address.
We're talking about adults,
I address. Literally, you have to take ownership and responsibility for it. I don't believe that people are getting finessed like you painted the picture. I believe because that's to say that women aren't smart. Because how did you get so smart? Afterwards, but you wasn't smart enough to be able to identify that he was a POS when you got with him. That's literally telling y'all that y'all idiots. You're not an idiot. You're not dumb. Most women know who the dude is that they got with and who they chased before they got with him and opened up their legs to him. You know that. That's why they say get married. Marry before you carry. That's why they say that.
So let's, because I get you.
And I'll say this real quick. Shout out to my guy Anton. He's exactly on point because we are not speaking about women that are getting pregnant by men they don't know. Half the time, these men probably their cousins. And these women get in the hood. Hell, make them faces if y'all want. They in the hood getting pregnant by men they already know ain't no good. It ain't like this woman live in New York and she getting pregnant by a man in San Francisco. She's getting pregnant by a man she went to school with, or that her sister went to school with, or that her mama went to school with. They know these men. It's not a surprise
at all. Then seen it, and that's another thing. We grew up in these environments, and it's a lot of them. It ain't just one town, one city, one state. It's a lot. And these women, like Gav said, they will literally see that dude in the town. All right. They got, 4, 5 baby mamas. They will see, look at his kids. See, he make pretty kids with good hair, and they will let that happen. Let it happen. He gonna contact them. They play coy, and then nevertheless, he always end up clapping cheeks and making another baby. And it is what it is. So that's what we say. And that was my point. These panderers always, they telling the women they're dumb. Like, we understand now he tricked you. And my thing is, what's up with this women's intuition? Is that not a real thing?
Okay.
There's no way this divine intuition only kicks in after the trauma and the abuse and the lies and the baby done came along.
Wait. You way off base.
If that's the case, then it needs to be evaluated. Wait, y'all don't even listen to what did I just say? What did I say?
Just said, why is a woman's intuition kicking in when it's so convenient? And what I'm saying is that first off, we all have intuition. Women might be a bit more emotional or maybe a little bit more empathetic than men at times, but men have intuition, women have intuition. It's just something that's there. The issue is that a person's personality is formed in all cases, from my research, by the age of 7. That's why the home, the family, the mother is so important. So at 7 years old, your personality is fully developed, whether you realize that or not. At 26 years old is when your brain is fully formed, meaning that you can make logical and intelligent decisions from your frontal cortex.
And what you said, at what age your brain is fully formed?
26.
Okay.
26. And so I don't say things like that to be radical or irrational or problematic. I say the things that I do because for the last 5 years, we asked Mr. Walker, you said, who's going to help these people? What are we going to do? And for the last, since 2018, I've done nothing but help women and men to heal themselves so that they can be better productive individuals to be better in partnerships, because until we heal ourselves individually, we will keep having these issues time after time. So I think the issue is, once again, maybe people didn't know this, but Anton is speaking from a perspective of being preventing these issues. And I think Yada is just coming from a perspective of, okay, we're here, we got all these sick-minded people dealing with trauma, whether they want to realize it or not, trying to
But here's
cosplay
the
like
problem.
they're okay.
Here's the problem though, Crystal. Yada is he's Anton. It got to be a form of accountability. So Yada is doing nothing more but creating more single moms with his message by telling these women. He's telling these women, you could be a single mom. It's not going to affect your dating prospects. And
No,
he's lying to their faces. That's a lie.
He agreed with Anton. He
Well,
actually
no, he
said
said that early, but he already said it. He believes he's just saying that because he wanted to move forward with the show.
No, I agree with it.
He said a woman can have 3 or 4 kids. It does not lower her value. That's problematic.
Okay, so I agree with him. I don't think it lowers her value.
That's problematic though, right? He said that. He said, and if a woman has 2 or 3 kids, that's not an issue. And he also followed that up with, if you're not healed enough as a man and you can't deal with a woman with 2 or 3 kids, then you go get you a woman without any kids that has nothing going for her. Like, and that's that slick talk. Can we really justify a man defending his position by downing another one, especially an honorable position? Telling young ladies not to have kids out of wedlock is the most honorable position.
Well, he agreed with not having children out of wedlock, but he also further explained that a lot of these people are doing it out of
that's Crystal. What does that mean though? Show me a person who does not agree with having kids out of. I think that's pretty unanimous. Everybody does, no matter what side of the fence you're on. Everybody agrees people shouldn't be having kids. So that's a non-point to me.
Well, at first you said that he was basically saying keep having these kids out of wedlock.
Well, he is, because he's telling them they don't lower their value. So whether you do or you don't, you good. That's what he's saying.
He's indirectly saying that just because this may happen, a Yada or an Anton Daniels may come and marry you. That's the product. That's why I always say these women, they have these kids. They don't want Mr. 40 hours. They don't want to settle. They still want their desired guy. We are doing our bestest to deliver a message so these young women can get their desired outcome. We don't want women out here with 2 or 3 kids and guys saying scratch their head like, this guy, he nice, he kind, but he don't do nothing for me. There's no connection. But I got to get with him because money, everything is scarce, and I got 2 or 3 kids. That's what we're trying to stop.
Pretty much talking prevention.
Correct.
Not necessarily in the situation, but I actually want to go to the situation because right now our culture is facing this situation in large numbers, Anton. So I want to get your consult for the people now in the situation, because we get your stance, not putting us there.
I told you, go back with your child's father.
But here's the thing. If we have identified as well, to Yada's point, that the brother is at this point not working on himself, pretty much unqualified at this point to lead and manage a family, may not even have the desire to, do you still recommend that woman put herself in that position, or should she,
what position specifically,
to be in a relationship with this type of man, or should she go about parting ways and trying to find, just run it, be a single
Listen,
mom?
I took my vows serious. I don't believe in parting ways. It's death till death do us part, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poor.
These are single women though. By the way,
you said part ways.
Well, again, a woman who got pregnated by a man, they're not married.
That's your husband. That's your husband. What are we talking about? You can't take it back. Ain't no take backs. We in this. It's me and you till we die. We gonna figure it out.
I don't believe.
No. They asked me the question.
I never believe I'm hearing this.
We gonna figure it out. We gonna work it out. We gonna do it. We gonna make it happen. We gonna take on the world, and we gonna take over the world. It's some things that we gonna have to figure out together. But
you know what the biggest problem is what Anton is saying, mostly just he's speaking to women. He's really, and that's why women are so mad, because it's a double standard.
Should be.
Well, hold on. It's a double standard, meaning these men, Bonquisha and this guy can have a kid. He can go on and still find a childless woman and start a family to where she's stuck, and her value is shot out and his is not.
We passed the value. What I'm saying is Anton is talking like it should be. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it is. I believe in how it is. I don't believe in how it should be. Great, fine. You want to get married? Fine. But not shit.
Well, listen, I'm speaking to the men. Like I said, Anton is talking to the women. He's not speaking to men. He's saying to this woman, if you get pregnant, you better make it work, because your options is slim pickings after that. I don't care what you look like. And it's not for the men, because that same man that knocked that woman up can go find another childless woman very easily.
There is a double standard. We've talked about that. I don't know why we gotta, keep going over and over it, man. Like, how is, like, we talk about what should be. What did Anton say? I can't even remember, man. It's just too much.
He's sitting here telling this guy that it's a double standard. If this woman get pregnant, we need to make it work. I don't care if he's a narcissist or he's abusive. Screw all that.
That's it. Yeah, I'm over there. Y'all, I'm over the victim thing. That's it. These women up here, oh, he was a narcissist, abuse. Like, do we not have any input on shaping our own reality by our actions? I ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying? No, what's that thing called? Trying to bring stuff into reality by thinking it, whatever. But I'm talking about real life. Like, these women, they don't have to be in these relationships. They don't. Like, we got to stop looking past nature. These women are horned up. Like I said, they are hunching on the guys they desire. And the baby gonna come in the throes of passion. Ain't no rules in the throes of passion. It get wild. Like, y'all can sit there talk about, oh, we ain't got no kids, you got protection. Yeah, let it get going. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop that. So these women need to be real. Say, you know what? Little man in the boat rules all. I be trying to keep myself together, but I can't keep myself to myself. That's what Anton's saying. We, as kids, we all knew when we was out there doing what we was doing, we knew we weren't supposed to. Like Anton's saying, we knew we weren't supposed to be having no kids, even though we was doing what we was doing. And this dude, Yada, he is a Super Saiyan simp. Super Saiyan. His message is detrimental to the women. Like we're saying, his overall message is it's okay. And it's not. It's not okay. Stop doing it.
You just can't leave after you got somebody pregnant. You can't leave after you get pregnant. What you talking about? That's your husband.
Man, listen, hold on.
That's your husband.
Listen to me. Listen to me, ladies. If you're in a relationship with a man, you're pregnant, or if you have children by this man, and this man is not being a man in your life, leave him. If this man is breaking you down mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, leave him and make sure he gets himself together. And if he can't get himself together to keep you in his life, that's not the man for you. Leave. I don't care what this brother talking about. That makes no sense, and it's devilish. It's too many women being killed by toxic men because they want to stay for emotional reasons of the children. Think about yourself, because you can't properly protect your child if you're being abused on any type of level, if you're not being provided for on any type of level. Love yourself enough to know when.
Holy hell.
Stop lying.
Why you lying, ho?
Stop lying.
I know the time, ho.
Stop lying.
Stop. Here we go. It amazes me how a black man can sit up here and paint this picture about black men. It's sickening. Like, to act like the majority of these men are out here deleting women like this is crazy as hell. Like, that's problematic, and that's dangerous rhetoric. And you wonder why these women can't get out their own damn way, because they listening to idiots like this.
He a detriment to himself with this talk. Like, yes, Yes, DV is a real thing, but it's the way it's painted. Like y'all know up here, anytime there's egregious accusations, we stated just as that. We've seen way too many of our women lying, being found out in lies, not just lying and no, we only know they lying because we found out. They will lie about DV, lie straight out. Kim uncovered it. And I understand, they were scared to say something again. My goodness,
Do
how
you know
powerful.
that there are higher statistics of women not reporting it? And that's what I find is crazy. That we had no problem with saying that Yada did
Hold on.
domestic.
So let's stop there though. What do you do about that? We done had this conversation, Crystal. You
What
know
I'm
where we
saying is we pick
if
and
you're gonna say
choose.
it though, you gotta have a solution. Don't sit up here and tell us about all these women getting beat on and they ain't reporting it. What the hell should they do?
This is what I'm saying. First off, report it and call the police. Number one. What I'm saying is that, but with Yada, we can say that he did domestic violence and that he's all these egregious acts. But when the turtle was up here, we was caping. So we pick and choose the men we want to defend. And if they in any way seem to be beneficial or loving what it seems like towards the understanding of the woman experience for a large amount of women, I pulled the statistics up many lives ago of what how many little girls have been caught up in these situations. These are little girls. These ain't even grown women. Yeah, some grown women lying on men doing the immaterial. We know that. But I'm talking about kids. And so he's not lying. But we rather ignore that because Mr. Walker's a great guy who ain't beating on his wife, and
Because it's a
Gavin ain't
small
either.
percentage, Crystal. It's the minority.
Do you know that? Okay, when we say the small percentage, we can't
And we're not
say
talking
that.
about, don't get into financial abuse and spiritual abuse. We're not talking about all that nonsense.
No, it's not nonsense. It's serious.
It is. So I'm just saying we're not talking about that. We're strictly talking about physical abuse.
And if we even go with physical, look at the
That's all
rates.
we're
Look
talking
at the
about. We ain't going
statistics.
down rabbit holes.
We don't, it's not a rabbit hole, but it is. If you don't want to go there, this is your show. I won't go there. But it is technically abuse. But if we're going to say just physical abuse out of respect for you and your platform, look at the rates. And since they love statistics so much, just look at the rates. Look at the rates of domestic violence against women from men versus women to versus women to men. I'm not downing men. I'm not saying that that's every man, but what I'm saying is we can't be real when we want to be real and
Yes,
then
we can.
ignore.
Check this out. Check this out. You brought up DV and how we overlooked it. The brother up there that's talking about men harming women, he has some of the most egregious accusations against him. It's not even funny. But see that? Even though I don't like him, I think he's bad for the group. I shan't not say what they are because it's accusations. There is no bias. The proof is in the pudding. It's wild. The same.
Not to cut you off, Mr. Walker, but the bottom line is, I see they was in the chat. Lesbian relationships have the highest DV rates. So it's women on women. That's the net.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Okay, now
yeah,
this is the thing about that. You know, we love to talk about women fixing women and focusing on women and men focusing on men and all these things. We have a horrible culture, period. And that's why I think these conversations of, well, who has it worse and who is crazy, but it's still facts. When you look at actual physical abuse, you're going to see it always coming more from a male side. And you know, some of those reasons are good. They're good defenders, and other reasons is bad.
All right, but granted, why for the same reasons? Why are women abusing each other then?
Because this is a toxic society that needs to be dismantled.
No, because who's the common denominator?
The culture, and the systems that we're all brought up under. That's what.
And you see, okay, let's say, where does that? So if I sit here and say, you know what, it's not my fault for making a stupid choice, it's the culture. Y'all know a little bit of my past that I've shared with y'all. I got every excuse to be a doo-doo head. I can give you every excuse. Do you see? But I don't grasp onto those excuses. Thank God for football. But a lot of these folks you will say it's okay. And you will, and we can't, not you, we as a whole, we can't coddle them. Because they will use these excuses.
Because we know that, and we've all identified the problem, then, like you said, we find a solution. And the solution is getting to the root of a lot of these people's problem. That's what it is. If you didn't have football that showed you a different light of life, you would have never changed your actions. And it gets back into the Yada and Anton conversation. Some of us were having a conversation about the physical reality we're in right now with 80% of single mothers. And we're also looking to our future of the alphas and the whatever generation is coming after them, of them learning and they're not having children. But what do we do with these broken people now? We have to have some type of solution.
Shout out to the brother TJ at Through the Fire podcast. How you doing, brother? Came through grand fashion. Says, welcome back, Crystal. Take a break for old time's sake. Just 60 seconds, fellas.
Yeah, I think the message is crazy that he would even go into violence and that kind of thing. That is a crazy message. But we also have to acknowledge that many women who get pregnant when they're young would have wanted to have been married to that baby's father. So it's not a matter of
no, they wouldn't. No, in that moment, let me play devil's advocate. In that moment, because they're children, their brains ain't developed till they're 25. But if you ask these same women, because Kendra do every night when they're 40 years old, why ain't you with your baby daddy? Hell no, he dusty. Why would I? I would never.
Last baby daddy, not the first baby daddy.
No, so what I'm saying is they always have regret with these young pregnancies. It's never the guy they wanted to be with when they get older.
The first child that she gets pregnant by, normally she would rather marry that man.
No, in that moment, because she's caught up in the weenie juice. She's a child. What I'm saying is, in hindsight, if she would have married that man, it would have been an unholy matrimony.
Doesn't matter that she still would have wanted to marry that man.
Granted, she's a child. But here we go. We'll get back into it. Hit the like button.
And to leave. If not, you will pour this childhood trauma onto your child.
We use extreme words, and in order for him to even survive this debate, he got to use extreme words like abuse.
Oh, come on, bro.
Right? Because again, we're supposed to be talking to the majority, not the minority. People leave each other because they don't like each other, or because it's a difficult financial situation, or because they fall out of love, or because they have lust for somebody else. Of course, there are extreme circumstances where you don't stay in a situation. If you're getting beat up on, because that goes without saying, we shouldn't even have to address that. Of course, you shouldn't stay in an abusive situation. But again, he's using extreme versions of the conversation in order to be able to survive. When in reality, we talking about people that's just walking away because they don't like the person, or they don't like his financial situation, or they don't like what it is that they think is going on in his life or her life, or she see her friend and she get influenced by it. That's what we talking about. Most people are not just walking away because, oh man, every man. Come on, man.
A woman does not walk away from a place where she feels happy and she's stable on each and every level. A woman will never walk away from a man where she feels secure on each and every level. His man stepped out of the fantasy.
Look, extremes. Now we saying that a woman will never walk away from a man if she feels secure. Most women don't even know what they don't even feel like themselves after they have a child and they got postpartum.
Come on, brother.
No. Tell me it's not true.
No, you're right.
Most women don't even know what they feel like when they have postpartum. And a lot of times these women are leaving situations when a child is an infant, when they're young. So if we talking about feelings, because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about purpose. See, love is not about how you feel. Love is what you do.
I agree.
And so it's an endurance test. Even the word of God, the prize isn't given to the person that run the swift. It's given to the person that endureth to the end. It's not a feeling. You might feel some type of way right now. That's why the word says that you can't let the sun go down on your wrath, because you then have to absolve for that. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be a completely different person, right? So I'm not going off of feelings. I'm going based off of what is the current situation. And again, it's not about me. It's about the child. So you may feel a certain type of way right now, but we're going to work this out. We not leaving. We not getting divorced. Again, we're going to use his extreme example of getting your head cracked in. Don't stick around when you're getting your head cracked in. But I'm speaking to the majority. Don't just leave just because you feel a certain type of way about it.
Ladies. If you feel unsafe, if this man is not leading you to the best version of yourself, if he's not being that guide, that leader, and that protector, leave that man. I don't care about no form of fantasies, period. And men, if you're doing everything you know to do for your woman, to keep her happy, to love her, to protect her and guide her, and she's still doing things that you don't recommend, or she's going out there doing things she has no business doing, leave that woman. If not, your children will reap the hurt and the pain of that cycle. We have to break these generational curses. We have to.
This man is going to have y'all jacked up. He going to have y'all absolutely toe up. He going to ruin your life. He going to ruin your
that part. And all the men out there, if you get with a woman and she tell you that she listening to this yada bada guy, go and get you some golf clubs.
I'm trying to learn how to golf.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Yeah, go get you some golf clubs. If they don't want to stop being single moms, if they don't want to stop being ratchet and having these high body counts and being for the streets, divest, get your passports, whatever y'all got to do.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna do it. We can't even say it because they're not even gonna do it. That it is what it is. People gonna continue to do what they doing. Ratchet as it is, they're gonna continue doing what they doing.
So we should try
to
we
speaking to a very small percentage. You know, it's a niche group, but we're not talking to all men.
Yeah, I can't stand Yada. I hate this dude again. He up there he's bad. You gotta. I don't have a problem with women or anybody. It's okay, you like his side, but try to please pick apart arguments. Don't just sit there, okay, I like him because everything he's saying is for the betterment from the outside looking in, for the betterment of single moms, because he's telling them they have hope and that their value doesn't decrease. But he needs to who? Like whenever we deliver this message, I sound like a broken record. We got to think about the young women that's looking for love, looking for whatever companionship. Like they want a specific kind of guy. We know who that guy is. We hear it day in and day out, whether it's a CEO chick in her 50s or a young 20-some-year-old woman in college. They all want the same kind of guy. And that masculine, dominant guy that gives them good feels that Yada likes talking about, he most likely don't want you come with no kid. Is that so hard to understand?
I think we're being a little dramatic with what his delivery was. He said, don't stay in a toxic home because, as we spoke about earlier, even when you are with your biological parents, if they're arguing, drinking, beating on each other, and let's just say they call it the dead mother in psychology. If you have an absent-minded mother, it will still have the same effects on you that trauma, physical abuse, DV, things like that can have on a person's mind. So I think that, I find that he's more so speaking from don't stay in anything toxic and anything, and I mean really toxic, not just saying it's toxic because it's a girl math red flag. That's not what I'm talking about, but or a boy math red flag. Like, don't be in toxic situations because it's causing generational issues. And that's more so what I heard. And it's interesting because you asked, Gavin, why is it that we do find that these young girls who get pregnant by their first baby daddy really do want to be with that baby daddy, right? But why don't they change their mind at 40? Well, it's because, like Heathen Queen said, I guarantee you, like 90% of women would have wanted to be with their child's father at that time. But I was called crazy when I said that he's probably not 100% ready. I actually agree with Raquel. I would hope, and I've said this multiple times before, that if you're in a marriage and a commitment, a man cheating would make you just leave, to the point of what Anton is saying. Like, no, you can't be leaving for crazy reasons like that. I was only trying to get women prepared for, not saying this will happen or this is a reason not to get married, but just don't throw the baby out with the bathwater if it happens on either side. So him saying that, going back to the first baby daddy, if it's toxic and she made a bad decision then, I don't think we should continue that toxicity. And what if the man doesn't want her? Like he said, like, what if he don't want her?
Well, I don't think he was speaking about going back. He was more about speaking about not leaving in the first place. So whatever issue you got with this man that's about to make you step out this door, you need to fix your face, fix your life, and get on board. Or else you can come back out to these streets and it's going to be 10 times worse.
And what if he doesn't want her or doesn't want to be in a committed relationship anymore? Then what?
Anton said you better figure out a way to make it work. You better figure out everything he wants to make it work.
That's what and that's my point. It's her life too. Like she control access to her box. Now all control is gone. That's what I'm lost. All of a sudden now she's just helpless. Oh, he don't want me. I'm in the streets. Can we figure out what's going on before we have a kid? Because without a kid, it's easy to get up and go and start over. But bringing a kid in, getting too wound up in your genital satisfactions, that's why we end up here. And women need to start being real. Again, 2024 was a year of projection from women. They talked about narcissism. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. We did a little poll, our little study, and the narcissist of the year was definitely the melanated woman with her actions, her words.
Coming from the single by choice people?
Yeah.
The poll?
Yeah, single by choice, cart before the horse, just everything. Videos from different sources, Kendra, Ashley, different sources. We saw it just watching these women talk and watching them get caught up. We're not talking about, opinions. We sit up here and we listen to women talk. We listen to them get caught in their lies. And so that's the data. We're not saying her making stuff up. They're on camera and it's documented.
Well, see, I believe that there's delusion all around. There's delusion everywhere. Women are deluded on that side, and men are deluded on this side. Because you expect a woman to be a pick-me, and she's the only perfect woman that will be a good partner is a pick-me. That's not the case. There's normal women that can be married too. There's normal women, even including hyenas.
What's a normal woman? What's
a normal woman?
A normal woman. Crystal is a normal woman. Raquel's a normal woman.
Let me say this real quick. Why do y'all women think the only man suitable for y'all is a simp like Yada?
Who said that?
Who said that?
Who said that?
All right, here we go. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm gonna let this keep going. I'm gonna let it play.
I love what they do.
Child's life, your family's life. Take this and really replay it and pay attention to what. Because see, this is not even about winning a debate right now. This is about the culture. This is about your family. This is a life decision. This is not something that I'm just gonna easily say something and say, hey, you should just leave. No, you should really seek counseling. You should really get together with your pastor. You need to go to God and pray on his behalf. You need to pray over that man at night and get your olive oil. You need to go and convene with the people of your elders and first understand whether or not it's you and it's not him, because you may be feeling some type of way based off of a bad influence in your life. This is not something that you just play around with. You don't just leave when you got a child in a situation from somebody that you've committed to and opened up your legs to and you've gave your body to. That's not something that we just easily just walk away from and just say, oh no, just leave. Leave him if you feel unsafe. No, you need to do every single thing in your power and leverage every single resource that you can in order to ensure that this is the thing that you are not supposed to be in based off of something that you can't control. You don't just willy-nilly just walk away from a situation and think that that's going to be conducive for your child. Because if you knew better, then you wouldn't be in that situation in the first place. Your judgment is already off. And that's why you need elders. That's why you need guidance. That's why you need mentors. That's why you need pastors and preachers. That's why you need a community to lord over you. That's what the community really meant. It wasn't about just taking care of a child. It was shepherding over the people that didn't know any better about themselves. And if you listen to this person, he gonna mess your family up. Don't do that.
The women. Let's close out here.
Hold on, real quick.
I got a question. The final question.
Real quick. No woman left after the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time. They done prayed to God, got on their knees, talked to the pastor. These women ain't just leaving these men. They are mostly invested to them, loved them, gave them the body. They're tired. They're mentally falling apart. They're suffering from depression. And we're going to say, oh, stay there for the children. She's crying every night. Every night she's crying. But we want to put everything on the woman rather than, oh, keep your legs closed. This woman loved this man with her all, her mind, her body, and her soul. This is why she left. She sacrificed everything for this man, and he still has not changed. I would rather you leave a man than to your child to watch you cry every night because this man's verbally mistreating you, not properly taking care of you and treating you like you're trash. Ladies, you're not a doormat. You're not under a man. You're side by side with a man. If any man treats you like that, you know he's dealing with some deep-rooted childhood traumas.
So here we go. We let him cook. Shout out to the brother Yada. I'll say this. The net of it is this man up here getting to the bag, which is what is unfortunate is the women that are following him. Because right now, I'm not going to get mad at the bar for selling alcohol. If y'all want to go in there and drink, that's on you. All right. This man, he's standing out in front of his bar with bottles of vodka and gin, telling y'all how it's vegan and organic and how it's good for you. And if you want to come in there and drink it, he's telling you how this vodka is going to hydrate you and it's good for you. So if you listen to him, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, shout out to Yada. Hey, you know, from his delivery, it sounds as if, you know, this is kind of like his atonement, if you will. He's speaking on how he treated women. You see that? He's sitting there, that passion and that he got a little hurt in him because he know what he done did to women in the past.
Little black pill, a little black
Thank
pill.
you. Yeah. Y'all to stop that projecting. That is that.
How many men, Mr. Walker, how many men can honestly say, for real, on some real shit, that their first couple girlfriends trying to soil their royal oats, whatever, did not break some hearts and definitely did some pillow talking. Pillow talking is literally a word. Game is a real thing. I just love it how we just ignore this whole culture of game and how to get in a woman's draws. And we try to act like it's not real. That's where I find this disconnect of every man was being an angel and the women just wouldn't get on. Like,
they weren't.
what?
Nope. Men, when they come to trying to get with a woman, men will go through any length. I'll admit that. But just how y'all up here, you know, projecting, you know, I know men that have tried to get with honorable women. They're like, no, it's not happening. I have seen women, include my wife with me, like, no, I like you, but we ain't doing that because my mama and my daddy taught me better. And she helped teach me because I come from, y'all know where I come from. So that's why I'm not buying that. These women is game. Tried the best game I had, didn't work.
You're with her now. You're with her now.
No, stop. But I'm saying, before I went trying to get married, I didn't know what marriage was. I was ignorant.
You weren't compromising her boundaries for your selfish needs. You respected that fact that that's where she
what's thinking now? I'm like I said, I wouldn't know I was trying. Like, come on. I was trying, but I'm saying she was like, no, she knew better. To Gavin's point. She had a mom and a dad that said, that's not what you do, regardless of how much you like that dude. Yeah, we end up married. But at first, it wasn't it because I wasn't looking for marriage. I was looking for a good time.
So to your point, Mr. Walker, all I was saying is that it's not uncommon. We're saying, oh, Yada is projecting, or he's just telling the truth. He probably did hurt some women in the past. He probably did it firsthand. I agree.
Like that's all men. We can't make it seem like that's most men, because as we said, looking at the loose numbers we got, like,
Mr. Walker, you gonna sit here and lie like that when you know most men are saying
that's not true? Because if the stats say 56% of these guys are single and childless, look at HQ face, and 30% of these men are incels. Since over like the last 3 years, a lot of these men aren't even getting intimacy. So we talking about the same 20% of men. Granted, Crystal, we acknowledge that. We're not up here like, oh, all men are good. These women are bad. All men are good. We're not saying that.
Right. So, I'm not saying you are, but what I'm saying is that why are we demonizing him by saying he's projecting? No, he's just telling the truth. Most of us, like you said, women make dumb love decisions at an early age, and we got to get out of that shit. And a lot of times, men will be in a position of pillow talking a woman, trying to out of her drawers. And
All
that
right,
doesn't.
and this goes back to something we used to talk about damn near every week. Bottom line is, granted, all that exists. Who suffers the most and who needs to start moving accordingly? We understand what happens and what goes on. Who is suffering the most and who needs to start moving better?
Well, I think you just
Nobody
moved the goalposts. I was only addressing Yada and what we just said about him acting like he hasn't been in this position of being a womanizer. That's all I was talking about. I wasn't even talking about who suffers more ultimately.
Well, bottom
Women and
line, we
men.
up here talking about single moms. That's the topic of discussion.
Right. So
Yeah.
I think ultimately what are the stats you just said, Gavin? Didn't you just say we got 30% incels, 52% of people aren't married? It looks like everybody's suffering. Looks
Except
like
for that except for the 20% that get to sleep with 70% of the women and have the children. It's the same guys.
It is not correct. Why you
It don't matter what you believe, HQ. The stats are showing differently.
We can't sit here and keep trying to say. We can't keep sitting here and saying that the stats aren't correct when it's documented. There's men out here with 15 plus children by 15 women, and y'all just like, no, it's not real. There's not a few men having majority of kids. There's men with 30 kids. That should never have been a thing.
And guess what?
That's not
to your point, Mr. Walker, that's suffering. Raising children in poverty without a father in the home is suffering. That's a mental illness to create that many children, and vice versa for women to think it's okay to have a child with a man who has 10 kids. So both are suffering.
Again, who's suffering the most?
It doesn't matter when you're both sick.
It does. Well, here we go. We got to get the super chats. We got a couple more subjects to get to. Right now, we're going to take Yada, kick him down the pit, and keep it moving.
Bad.
Fuck is you talking about?
This is Sparta!
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to hide. You gotta count your blessings. You're sitting at the table. You hear me? Ooh, child, things will get brighter.